What's up, everyone? My name is Maximilian. This is my dog. His name's Benny. And I wanted to quickly talk about the recent news that has come up that's going to be happening at Super Battle Opera. For you guys that don't know, there was this interesting piece of information that came up that there's going to be an arcade-related announcement from Capcom happening this Sunday, I believe. Now, this is interesting because being Super Battle Opera, that is a gigantic Japanese fighting game tournament, essentially the EVO of Japan, where people from across the world come to compete with the best Japanese players. It used to be the biggest fighting game tournament pretty much ever, with the most prestigious of players, but I think that rank has officially gone to evolution now. I think EVO is definitely the biggest fighting game tournament in consideration of the scale, scope, and performance of players. Nonetheless, it's a fighting game tournament, and Capcom is saying they're going to have an announcement at a fighting game tournament. Now, since it's an arcade announcement, this is what has me curious. Initially, there's a lot of thoughts being flying around right now. What is the game that's going to be announced? What is it that they're going to be announcing for the arcade, and things like that. So I'm just going to go over my few thoughts of games that I would like it to be and the games that I think it will most likely be. I'd really like it to be Capcom versus SNK3, and holy crap, the dog mystically changed positions. This happens sometimes around here. So what a lot of you guys are thinking is that SNK has this lineup of King of Fighters. They're doing fairly well amongst the competitive communities right now, so I'm thinking that it might be really cool if SNK actually helmed this game that SNK makes, SNK versus Capcom 3 or CVS3, whatever it might end up being. I think that'd be really cool, and to have the game 2D, totally awesome. That's a big wish, so I doubt that'll happen. Moving on, there's other possible games that it could possibly be. More notably, and what I don't especially want it to be, is Street Fighter V. So this should be happening fairly soon. It's been a long time since the release of Street Fighter 4. It hasn't been that long since the last balance adjustment or patch for Street Fighter 4 with Arcade Edition 2012, but it's I think it's coming to that point where Capcom is most likely considering making another full Street Fighter iteration, and I'm down for that. I think that might actually be pretty cool for them to completely throw out the Street Fighter 4 system and give us something completely new and different. I think that might be awesome, but at the same time I'm not as excited for that, and I doubt that will be it, because I think they have plans for other games ahead of time. What I'd also like it to be, and what I think a lot of people are saying, was this this game I promoted a little while ago, like a Capcom All-Stars game, like Street Fighter versus Capcom, you know, half of the cast being Street Fighter characters, the other half of the cast being legendary old Capcom characters like Captain Commando, Mega Man, Dante. You know, just pull them out of the bin. There's so many to choose from. I think that would be a really cool game, and an awesome successor to the Versus series that we all know and love, without having to deal with like Marvel and character license rights and all this crazy stuff. I think I want that game the most. A Capcom All-Stars game. Make it like a tag game, 2-1-2, something like that. That would be cool. If you guys think any of these ideas sound really good, go ahead and leave a thumbs up or a comment below. But beside from that, I think the next game that might be really cool that they could announce is, well, essentially an update to the Versus series. Another version of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, they've already said repeatedly that the development team for Marvel is done. There's not going to be anything new from Ultimate Marvel 3 anytime soon. However, it doesn't mean that the game can't get ported, and I think this might actually be really damn cool if there was a proper arcade version of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think that would be awesome, like absolutely awesome. Arcades in the US would get a proper arcade version of the game. I don't think it would have anything new. I think it would just be the roster, and that's it. But at the same time, I think that might be really neat. I think it might invigorate the Marvel scene a little bit more in Japan and stuff like that. The only reason I say that that's a possibility is because that this was an arcade-related announcement. So, nonetheless, moving on, and most likely the game that it probably is Darkstalkers. So we had this video we were talking about before. There's been some rumors that Capcom is doing something Darkstalkers related. I think there was even this little bit of information that they trademarked the Darkstalkers name recently or something like that, so it's a very high probability that the next fighting game from Capcom that we will be seeing is Darkstalkers, and it's going to receive an arcade release. Now, why this is kind of cool that it would receive an arcade release is that I think arcade releases build a lot of hype. Granted, it's not exactly legal to distribute the Japanese machines overseas in the US. But there are arcades that still exist. There's several here in Southern California that still operate, that have Street Fighter 4 machines and such and such. And it would be really damn cool to have an arcade full of people waiting to play Darkstalkers. That would make some awesome footage, and to see a bunch of people getting hyped around an arcade. At the beginning of 2008 and 2009, it was like that when Street Fighter 4 was out, and it's totally awesome. So, I don't know, I think that would be really cool. I think Darkstalkers is a game that deserves a revival. I think it can be a totally awesome game. However, I would like it to be M-rated. I would like Darkstalkers to actually pave the way for a mature fighting game that isn't Mortal Kombat. I don't know if we've really had one of those over the past, wow, many years, besides Mortal Kombat style games, but it'd be really cool. I don't want fatalities or anything like that, but I want things to be gruesome and gory. Like, if you guys remember Darkstalkers, those games were pretty gruesome. Like, dudes would be slitting their wrists and blood would be flying out all over the place. The innards of characters would come out. It's supposed to be a gross, horrifying style of game, and I think it could fit that really well, and I think it could also be a pretty big pull to get people to play it. That, oh my gosh, Capcom's actually making an M-rated fighting game. Nonetheless, this information is going to come out. As soon as it does, I'll be reporting back on this channel with more video content. If you guys want to find out as soon as what it is, if you're not actually following all the sites like shoryuken.com, eventhubs.com, you can check back here or subscribe at the top right of the corner. You'll see a subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as the video is available, and we'll go into some more juicy details about whatever this mystery arcade game is. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please let me know. If you enjoyed my magical teleporting dog, leave a like. But other than that, my name is Maximilian, and I'll see you guys next time.